Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. It is still iBrand Daybreak, and this is the segment where we get to find out as it's happening in the world of sports. The Afcon, Africa Cup of Nations 2023, finally came to an end yesterday. It's not in my place to, give all of that information. I am going to allow Dennis do his thing. Hi, Dennis. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank God we're alive to see another wonderful day. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning,
I want to believe strongly that all Nigerians out there, they had a beautiful night's rest, even in the face of we're losing to the host nation of the Afcon.
Is that supposed to be an ironic statement?
Yes, we must. Life must move on. Even though at the point where we least expected that the Eagles, were going to bring a below par performance. It happened the way it did, and quite unfortunate.
That's why they call it a game of luck.
You do agree that they brought a below par performance?
It was. For me, this is me speaking now. From when the Afcon itself started, from when Nigeria started playing, from their first game against Equatorial Guinea to Guinea-Bissau to Ivory Coast in the second game, and then playing against South Africa, playing against Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. I think the game we saw yesterday was for me below what we expected from the Eagles, and I can tell you that the elephant, they clutched the jewel of African football. Quite sad. What a tale. Fairy tale run for the Ivorian side, from how they started, how they were almost going to get eliminated from the group stage, and then going all the way to win the 34th edition. All right, joining a couple of other nations, that have hosted the tournament and also winning the tournament at the same time, the likes of the Pharaohs of Egypt. For Nigeria, it means that we have played in 8 Afcon finals, and we have succeeded in losing 5 of them, equaling the Black Stars of Ghana, who have also lost 5 finals, in the journey to the African Cup of Nations. Quite sad. The graph, you look at the graph of how the Eagles played, from when they played their first game, the graph was like this, and then they played the second game, they took it up a bit, they played the third game, they took it up a bit, the fourth game like that, and then they dropped all of a sudden, just like Moses almost getting close to the promised land and never getting into gaining entrance into it. Quite sad. I can tell you that a lot of Nigerians watching us right now will be having the same feeling. But we must give kudos to this team. We must actually give kudos to them, because going by from when they started preparation en route to the Afcon proper, no one gave them any chance. No one gave the coach, Jose Pizarro, any chance. As a matter of fact, a lot of persons were actually calling for his head. He should go. He cannot take them to the Afcon. Eventually, NFF did not yield. They allowed him, to take them through. And from nothing to something, he has been able to galvanize, this talent that Nigeria has got. Couple of young guys, and I think if we can just keep putting them together, galvanizing them together, a lot of them can do a lot of wonder for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So the team, kudos to them, even though when we expected them to do it, when it mattered most, they didn't come to party. Yeah, that's just the sad moments.
All right, I personally feel like the better side actually took home the trophy. I am Nigerian as Nigerian can be. I've always drummed my support for the Super Eagles. But if you want to take a look at the stats of the game yesterday, you would find out that the Ivorian side, they had a better game to play, and for a good amount of time. Yeah. Within the entire 90+ minutes, they had greater possession. Matter of fact, a lot of times we weren't seeing their own side of the pitch. The entire action took place in front of Nigeria's 18, and so you can imagine how dangerous that is. If you want to look at the stats, from ball possessions to total shots to shots on goal to corners to offsides to fouls, they had it at best more than Nigeria did. So I wouldn't blame anybody who, because for everybody who has come out to boldly make these statements that I just did, especially on social media, they had their head rolling by Nigerians, you know, dragging the living daylight out of them. But if we're going to be honest, the Super Eagles of Nigeria did do us proud. I mean, getting to the finals, like you mentioned, we didn't expect that, but they did. However, if you really want to look at the mode of play that the Super Eagles have come with, it's almost as if we're always, you know, standing on thin lines, winning games from the group stage to the quarterfinals, semifinals, and even to the finals yesterday. When the first goal came in, it's like we finally relaxed. Even though when the game started, I was telling my friend that I was watching it, I said, these boys are too complacent. They are too relaxed. I do not like this half-filled game that is going on. And when the goal came in, it's like we lost whatever grip we had. And it was very, very painful. But what other information do you have for us at this moment?
Yes. I mean, from what you said now, I think the strategy adopted by Jose Pizarro wasn't the right one yesterday. We must actually say that fact. It wasn't the right strategy at all. This was the same team that you played against in the group stage of the Afcon, and you managed, to get a better result, against this team. The coach, talking about Emas Faye, the coach of Ivory Coast, of course, have studied this team, and he also gave it to Jose Pizarro that they were caught napping in the first game, and that was why they lost that game. Now, a second chance is coming. Why adopt same strategy? You're trying to conserve energy. You don't have strikers that can do the scoring. You are conserving energy. You're not taking the risk that you needed to take, just like the Ivorian coach, who started taking risk immediately. Their coach was shown the exit door. Don't forget, this man, their current coach now, has never coached a national side before. He has never coached any big team before, apart from their maybe under 17 and under 21 youth team in Ivory Coast. And this is his first opportunity that he's gotten to do this job, and he's done it so well. Haven't studied the Nigerian pattern. So for me, the tactics that Jose Pizarro adopted yesterday wasn't just it at all. There were times he needed to make some very important changes. He never made those changes. Alex Iwobi, Samuel Chukwueze, long time ago in that game, they had no business staying put there. I don't know why I had to leave them on the pitch. Osimhen is not coming to party. I don't know why you have to leave him there. You brought, what's his name? You brought Ahmed Musa to Afcon, and Ahmed Musa did not see 1 minute action. Why did you bring him? A lot of questions that I'm sure Jose Pizarro himself, will not be bold enough to want to give answers to. He just made some technical input yesterday that weren't it at all. Did not go the way for the Nigerian side. Yes, when we scored first, thank God for that William Troost Ekong. That's a Premier League goal for me as far as I'm concerned. Wonderful goal. We had 2 clear-cut chances yesterday. We're not creating any, but eventually we're able to get one, and that one was the one we converted. We got the other one, we missed it. We're not converting chances, yet our defense line, got exposed. Just like I said earlier, courtesy of the proper study carried out by Emas Faye, Ivorian coach, and he did a thorough job studying the Nigerian side. The young man that won play man of the match yesterday, Sangare, the young lad, 20 years old, was all over Ola Aina. He did not allow him. Ola Aina has created more chances for the Nigerian side in this tournament, and the coach studied him that if you can deal with this guy, this Nigerian side, they will not be able to really create all of those chances. And that's exactly what he did. He held down Ola Aina, and he could not create all of those chances for the Nigerian side. And that was what we saw, that we're not creating chances. And then our defense line was left exposed. The Ivorian side, they kept on attacking. And eventually, come on now, if you keep hitting a door, and you kept on your persistency, it will eventually have a crack, and it will break up. That was exactly what happened to the Nigerian defense line yesterday. And I'm so surprised that the coach did not even take note of all of that. Started making late changes, and it really did not amount to anything.
I'm talking about late changes, having Kelechi Iheanacho come into the field of play almost towards the end of the game. Did you think that was a strategic change at the time?
I mean, like I said, he left some players on the pitch that were, tired legs on the pitch that were not bringing so much on the table. So why leave them? Why leave them? For me, the calls that he made, they were quite late. They were quite late.
Honestly, I had expected. Sorry to cut you short, Dennis. I had expected that when that incident happened with what's his name? What's his name now? Victor Osimhen. Yeah. The incident that happened, and the young man that fell on his leg. I had expected that was a good time to make a change, because Osimhen was already limping from the beginning of the game, and having such a serious injury in the game, and you still left him there. It did not make any sense. Having somebody like Kelechi Iheanacho whiling away on the bench while the major part of the game was going on, it didn't make any sense to me. A lot of Nigerians have so much to say about the pedigree of Ose Peseiro. Even though some people have gone ahead to say that this is somebody that has led the team all the way from the group stage to the final stage, and now y'all finally want to start looking at his pedigree, where he's coming from and what he has been able to achieve over time before coming to the Super Eagles. But what do you have to say about that school of thought? About the school of thought that the pedigree of Ose Peseiro.
Of Ose Peseiro. Well, I mean, if he had won yesterday, it would have become the first Portuguese coach, to win the African Cup of Nations. But I mean, that did not happen. The man is yet to win anything as far as his coaching career is concerned. I don't think really, the pedigree isn't really there. I mean, when he was brought on board, a lot of people were asking some questions. Where is this man coming from? What are his antecedents? What is he bringing to the table? Will he be able to galvanize the team? But like I said earlier, we still have to give kudos, to Ose Peseiro. None of us, gave him the chance. None of us gave the team the chance. But, he went all the way. As a matter of fact, he exceeded expectations, because the target that was given to him was semi-final targets. All right, get to the semi-finals, and of course we are good to go. But then he took us straight to the finals. So what else are we expecting? The only thing he fell short of was not winning the trophy. But I mean,
all right. So
again, by and large, I think the guy has played his part.
Okay, so talking about those late changes that he could have made, could that be, as a result of complacency, or what exactly was the reason why Nigerians now are so much calling for his head? Because obviously I saw this coming, that if we by any means lose that game yesterday, definitely Nigerians will start looking at his pedigree, perhaps even calling for his resignation. So why is it the case? No,
I just told you now that before the tournament commenced proper, nobody gave Ose Peseiro the chance. Nobody gave the team the chance. And it's the same thing I'm still going to say here again, that yes, haven't taken us to the finals. It is normal for people to want to call for his resignation, for his sack and all of that. Even before the tournament itself, we did not give him the chance, to go all the way. All right, but haven't taken us thus far. If the NFL feels, well, his contribution to the team has come to an end, fine and good. They can allow him go, and maybe, look inward to Nigerian coaches. That this could just be an opportunity, because what Emas Faye has done with the Ivorian side just goes to tell you that there is so much more in this continent that we are looking down. There's so much to tap in. There is so much talent back home. We have to take advantage of the talent, and that is what our football administrators are not doing. So I think it is time, to really look inwards, all right? If you want to allow Ose Peseiro to go, fine. But for me, I think the man deserves all the kudos. We should appreciate him. He deserves it. He has beaten all expectations against all odds. We didn't give him the chance. But then, if we are looking inwards to maybe want to hire a local coach, all right, we have to give him the same kind of support that will
that's
give.
the point.
Yes, we have to give him the same kind of support that we'll give to a foreigner. That's just the way to go.
Because I remember, why I'm asking this, because I remember there was a time also that we had to look inwards. We looked at the person of Olise, right? We saw how Nigerians really appreciate the fact that he came on board.
Yeah.
But of course, what happened eventually, he was thrown out. So what do you think could be the issue with Nigeria? Is it that we do not appreciate it when we lose, or we just want to always see ourselves winning all the time?
Yes, you have answered the question. Sometimes we love to win, and I mean, who doesn't love to win? Everybody loves to win, you know. But no matter whatever you are good at, there's always someone, you know, that has done something extra to be better, you know, than you in that particular area. For this Afcon, I think. Yes, it could just be the proper strategy that we needed at the most important moment that we needed it. That did not, you know, that worked against us. That we did not adopt, that worked against us, and it worked in favor of the Ivorian side, and you know they won the trophy. For looking back home, if you're bringing in somebody new on board, who of course has to be a local breed, you have to give such a person all the support he needs, you know, to ensure that you know the team. We have a proper team, basically, all right? All the team, from the administrators to the players to the football fans and what have you. All the support, same kind of support that you give to a foreigner as a coach, you have to give to the local man that you're employing. I think that's the way to go. If you are employing a foreigner, you are paying that foreigner $10,000, for example, you know, as salary. Then if you are employing a local coach, you have to pay that local coach same amount of money. You have to give them same treatment. That is the way to go.
Quickly,
really.
as we round off this morning, let us look at the officiating, the officials, the referees and all, Lions Guard men and all that at the game. Nigerians seem to have so much to say about the slim, tall, fair coach. I've forgotten his name now. Cannot pronounce that, you know. But you know the person I'm talking about. How that... The what?
The what? Is it the center referee?
Yes.
Yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
And of course, the ladies that worked with him yesterday. Nigerians seem to have a lot to say about their work on the pitch. I personally feel like they were fair, and they understood the assignment, and they carried out their jobs properly and well done.
Okay.
But of course, we have established here, of course, the Nigerians like to win. So whenever it doesn't go, things go left, we try to find things to hold on to. However, I'd like to get your reaction to their, you know, method of operation yesterday. Do you agree with the school of thought that they were a bit, you know, biased or something?
Well, we must put into consideration the fact that we are playing. We played against an host nation. All right, the referee is between how do they say it now? Between the devil and the red, the red
blue sea.
and the deep blue sea. Yeah. So that's the case yesterday. I mean, there were some 50-50 calls that we saw in that game yesterday that we should have, you know, gone the way of the Nigerian side, but we would rather give it to the Ivorian side. For me, I don't see that as a big deal. I don't see it as a big deal. What for me is the big deal is the fact that if you're playing against an host nation, all right, before in their home ground, before their home fans, just know that a lot of things are going to work against you. You must know that. I mean, we played against South Africa. The CAF president was right seated there. The CAF president is from South Africa. We still went ahead to win the game. So what can we say about that? So please, let's keep officiating.
Right,
let's keep officiating aside. And it is the Nigerian side that had that could not create chances yesterday, and the chances that they were able to create, they were able to convert them. And you know, when you score, you sit back to conserve energy. It is what you have that you can give at the end of the day. You can't give what you don't have, really.
All right, quickly, just 2 minutes if you can answer me this or get your reaction on it. Jose Mourinho actually did comment on the Afcon. Maybe not entirely the games that got played, but he was very particular about the use of the VAR in the Afcon. In his words, and I quote, he said, "They are simply teaching us to be honest. In Afcon, VAR is used exactly the way it should be used. They do not use it to help the money magnet teams or famous teams. this is why you saw the best out of every team, because they know VAR is not hired behind the scenes, but it is for everyone. And then he goes on to say that if some of the things that happened in the Afcon happened in the Premier League, or in all the other big leagues in Europe, that some of these things would not be handled the way that they are. Do you agree with that? I mean, you follow football. Do you agree with Jose Mourinho on this?
Yes, of course. I mean, the essence of VAR, why FIFA had to introduce VAR in the first place, is to ensure that the very minute or what you say negligible incidences that happens in football, all right, they are able to, they are taken care of, all right, thanks to modern day tech, which of course our FIFA has introduced and still keeps introducing, because the game of football, the way it is now, it keeps evolving. All right, so it means that with the passing of day, with the passing of time, the evolution will bring in new technology just to keep revolutionizing the beautiful game itself. So, well, if the purpose of VAR being introduced is not achieved or is not being achieved, then I mean, the whole purpose is being defeated.
He even mentioned that in Europe, if you asked a referee or an official to go check the VAR, you get a red card for that. I didn't know that, and it's really not nice if that is really the case.
Yes, I mean, it's more or less like trying to put the center referee under pressure. You're trying to cajole him, trying to manipulate him, right? To do your own bidding. That's exactly what you're trying to do. So if you get a red card for that, or you get a yellow card for that, it's not a big deal. Follow the rule, allow, and do not forget, when the FIFA introduced VAR, at the end of the day, it is still the center. I think that is the point that a lot of persons are mentioning out here. It is still the center referee that still takes the final decision. So if the center referee goes to look at the VAR and based on his own judgment, he feels that, okay, what I'm seeing here is a 50-50, but I'm going to decide that I'm not going to give it to either of the teams. It's his decision at the end of the day. Yes, he has seen what is there on the screen, but who decides what happens at the end of the day? It is still the center referee. So the VAR is still subject to what the center referee says.
Right.
VAR, if the VAR says it's a penalty, the referee goes to check the screen and sees that the call is a penalty call, and then he comes and say no, it is an offside. So what happens? Will the VAR come to the field? No. So it's
okay. So that makes this conversation a whole different kettle of fish that would have to unpack. But unfortunately, we do not have the time to do that now. Thank you so much, Dennis, for of course riding with us through the Afcon, and as we go back to the major leagues that we usually talk about. We hope to keep having you on the show to keep doing that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
iBrand break. This is why we draw the curtain on today's edition. The week just started. I hope you have a good one from now till Friday. Thank you so much for being a part of it. We'll return tomorrow at 8 a.m. bringing you more interesting issues as they affect you as a Nigerian. Until then, stay positive. My name is Uche Zoe.
And my name is Joshua Cartel. See you tomorrow.